Not only is race car driving physically demanding, it's also mentally taxing. And if you make a mental mistake at 200 miles an hour, well, the consequences can be disastrous. Dr. Jacques Dallaire has helped more than 650 races around the world, including three-time Indy 500 winner Helio Castroneves, master the secrets of focus and concentration.
I think it's a given for people who understand how the mind works, that how we think directly influences how we perform. We've all been in situations where we have felt under stress because of circumstances, a particularly big challenge that we're dealing with, and us being under stress causes our performance to go down. We start to focus on the wrong things, and invariably focusing on the wrong thing doesn't allow us to focus on the right thing, and our performance suffers.
Stop. I think it's in the exit on driver's left. I can't tell.
When we start to become anxious, our entire physiology changes. Our muscles tighten up, our heart rate goes up, and our focus changes. It shifts away from the task perhaps in front of us to often the consequences of not being successful enough, and we worry about whether it's going to be good enough, whether the result is going to be there, whether we're going to be fast enough, and that affects how our body reacts, and that affects how we drive. The fundamental prerequisite to getting in the zone, what I think of as the holy grail of the performance equation, is the ability to focus in the moment on the task in front of you to the exclusion of everything else that in that moment becomes a distractor. That is how you get yourself into that sweet spot people call being in the zone. Controlling your focus of attention so that it is directed to the right thing at the right time, calm mindset, right level of intensity, that's what's going to yield the best performance possible. And that's the only place you're going to fall into that sweet spot called being in the zone. And if you think about being in the zone, you can't be there at the same time. It's sort of the absence of thinking about being where you are, instead simply connecting and fully focused on what you're doing. Driving the race car, hitting your marks, executing the way you have to in the car in that moment when it's required.
Yeah, 10-4. Okay, go ahead and fire up.
I have never, in over 30 years of working with thousands of high-performance people, had anybody come to me and say, my goal is to lose. I'd like to fail. I really want to come in last. So it's a given. Everybody wants to be successful. The question becomes, how do we create moments of good results? How do we deliver our best performance? And the truth of it is, results are a consequence of two things: the performance we bring in the moment when it's required, and a host of factors that are outside of our control. The A in the equation is what I bring to the party, my knowledge, skill, and experience in that moment when my performance is required. And the commitment and the effort I bring to deliver that to that performance. That's my full-on A game. Just because I'm bringing the best I can to a particular performance doesn't guarantee I'm going to get the result I want, because there's another variable in this equation. The B factors are, by definition, the factors that I cannot control. And here's the problem. Competitive people are so results-focused, and often their results focus is during the performance itself. They're worrying about whether the result is going to be good enough, whether they're going to be fast enough, what people are going to think of them, and they're obsessing about the B factors, the things they can't control. And the second rule of the mental road says, the mind can only actively process one thought at a time. If we're focused on the outcome, or focused on the factors that might come into play, we're not fully focused on the process of execution, which leads us there. So as counterintuitive as it is, to create the best results possible, don't focus on results. Focus on the process of execution, on driving the car to the best of your ability, hitting your marks, and you will get the best results possible.
Take your time, guys. We lost the lap here. Just take your time, make sure it's right.
What does the mistake cause you to do in terms of direct your mind? If your focus shifts, for example, because you blew a corner, you're thinking about the corner you just messed up. What's likely to occur in the next corner? The likelihood is you're going to mess that corner up as well. Why? Well, the truth is, physically I'm right here in this next corner, but mentally I'm actually back in the last corner thinking about what I did to mess it up. It requires that I be here and now, in this moment, because that last corner is irrelevant. It's what's happening right now. Similarly, if I'm a couple of corners or a couple of laps away from my first major win in a race, and I'm already in victory lane, spraying the champagne, if I'm old enough to have champagne, kissing the pretty trophy girls, I might just mess up the next corner because I'm not here. I'm 2 laps later, 3 turns to the left, up the ramp on the podium, enjoying the spoils of victory. And I make a mistake. It's about controlling our focus to be on the right thing at the right time. That's the most critical variable. The first step to getting back from the edge of that precipice where anxiety and tension starts to have a huge influence on our performance is to recognize that it's happening. We have to become more aware of the quality of our thinking so that we can control it. And if we start to feel our thinking slip or shift to the wrong kinds of thoughts, we have to simply catch ourselves, redirect it to the right focus, and that will take care of the problem.
You know, I don't think you win any race, whether it's Indianapolis 500 or an IndyCar race, Rolex 24, whatever. You do not win races unless you're safe. Safe is fast. You're not going to win a race if your thing's stacked in the fence. Got to be safe.